Hello everybody, welcome to The Point of View. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE8, aka 13th Wonder of the World. How y'all doing today in Radio Land? Here on March the 2nd at 2:45 p.m. here in the South, man. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening to The Point of View, which is on Podbeam as well as YouTube. Special shout out to my boy, my cousin D.E. Love it, man. Love you, man. Thank you for listening. You also say you listen to The Point of View as well as Kendo listens to The Point of View as well. Thank y'all all for all y'all. It may be small right now in numbers, but we're trying to get to the big spot, man. And through y'all support and the grace of God, hopefully this thing will be as bigger than what it is, as well as my homeboys doing their music on the record label as well. So I appreciate everybody, all parts of The Point. I appreciate all y'all, man. I love all y'all. Thank y'all. Shout out to that dude too as well, man. Me, him, Fade Away. Shout out to Fade Away. And also B.Ray. Sooner or later, we're going to do a simulcast between us four where we discuss the NBA as well as the NFL, as well as WWE and wrestling and things like that. That's coming soon to a stream near you. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave you a teaser earlier about what I was going to talk about, so I'm going to talk about it right now before I get some rest, before I attend the other situation, which is the job. Right now, South Carolina just beat Kentucky in the women's college basketball tournament. They just won the SEC regular season title, which is a piece of it because I think they have to go against wait for somebody else to win as well, and they're gonna flip a coin to see who has the number one seed in this thing. Last night, man, the Golden State Warriors, I thought they were going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers without Joel Embiid, and they came up short. Short as a Wilson. Short as a shoestring, man. Very, very, I don't know. Sometimes that happens in the NBA, but I still think they're going to be one of the toughest outs in the NBA, when it comes down to playing in the playoffs in the Western Conference. Lakers and the Clippers play again tonight. I know that's B.Ray. B.Ray want the Clippers to beat us tonight, but I think the Lakers can do it again, man. One more time for the Lakers, man. Unless LeBron and them are not playing, maybe, we see something else happen. Oh, man, let me get to the meat and the potato of this conversation, which is WWE Elimination Chamber. From the top to the bottom of that card was great. It wasn't but like 4 or 5 matches. First match, we start off with the Elimination Chamber for the women's to decide who's going to go up against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I had predicted that it was going to either be either Bianca Belair or Alexa Bliss. Bliss ends up getting eliminated. Naomi never got a shot in the tournament, in the chamber, because it was her and Liv Morgan that started first. Guess what happened? Jade Cargill comes from out of nowhere, returns, and alleviates and just beat the you-know-what out of Naomi, man. Destroys Naomi. Does this mean that Naomi was the culprit that attacked Jade? It could be. Let me say this. Let me say this here, and I want people to understand why I'm saying this. It would have, and things are subject to change in the WWE. So you have a match right now where Bianca Belair is going to go up against the Raw champion, the Raw Women's World Champion. Either that's going to be Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. 9 times out of 10 is going to be Rhea Ripley. So you're going to get that match between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. So then you're going to possibly have Jade versus Naomi. Naomi's going to get smashed by Jade Cargill. That's what's going to happen. If they keep that match for WrestleMania, that's what's going to happen. Or it could be Bayley, one of the culprits. Don't know. We'll have to find out. But Jade Cargill is back, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, we saw the return of people. We saw the return of Randy Orton and KO. Although Sami Zayn got destroyed. What is next for Sami Zayn? I think you go with Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. There was a lot of stories that were being told at the Elimination Chamber that could possibly happen at WrestleMania. In the women's department, I think Roxanne Perez could possibly be getting in the ring with somebody like Alexa Bliss or Bayley. I think you make the match between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I think those are some matches that you should make at WrestleMania. Not only that, Sami Zayn is destroyed. He got destroyed by a KO. I think you go Karrion Kross versus Sami Zayn, but I think you go Randy Orton versus KO, and I think Sami could possibly turn on Randy Orton. So that's another issue that everybody needs to understand. There's always plots and twists in wrestling before WrestleMania. What a great move by WrestleMania. What a great move by the Elimination Chamber last night to see that happen. Okay, the third match was the Elimination Chamber match. Am I correct? No. Trish Stratus and Tiffy Time versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Great match by Trish. Trish still got the gas. She looks good for her age. She's aged very well. Beauty is still in her life. And the thing about it is Trish looked absolutely amazing in the ring last night. Now, Fadeaway wants her to go home. But I can respect him. Why that? Because he's into the youth movement. He wants to see the guys that are there. But I think she'll probably go home after WrestleMania. And what a great win for them to win in Toronto, in the city of Trish Stratus, to get a victory. A great Hall of Fame career. She's already a Hall of Famer. So, yes, and believe it or not, she's one of the greatest WWE Women's Champions of all time. So you can never take that away from Trish Stratus. Now, what does this do now for Tiffy Time? Now that Nia Jax and Candice LeRae is out the way, you now focus on Charlotte Flair. I think that Charlotte Flair could be the one that Tiffany Stratton takes the torch from. Because the way, if I'm booking, I don't want Charlotte Flair winning the title again. Unless it's a mid-card title or a tag team title. What's going to happen is, you're going to tee off the audience if Charlotte Flair wins at WrestleMania. And that is a 50-50 booking, because that probably will happen. But just imagine if Tiffany Stratton beats Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. The sky's the limit for her. She's going to probably be one of the longest reigning SmackDown Women Champions of all time. Because if she does beat Charlotte Flair at that pay-per-view at WrestleMania, that's going to be one of the greatest achievements of all. Because guess what? And I tell people this all the time about Charlotte Flair. It's not about her anymore. It's about her making stars. Just like she made Ronda Rousey. Listen to what I'm going to tell you very closely. She made Ronda Rousey a champion. She made Nikki Cross a champion, even though it didn't last but a month. She made Rhea Ripley 2 years ago at WrestleMania as a champion. So you can't just say that she doesn't make. Charlotte Flair is the polish that they need in the careers of in the wrestling careers of these women. When you get in the ring with Charlotte Flair, you get in the ring with one of the best of all time. In my book, she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time, just like her dad. You know what I'm saying? Just like the Nature Boy Ric Flair. So the genetics, I'm trying to say the word, excuse me, y'all. But the genetic of her comes from her dad. But she's a lot more athletic than her dad. But her dad was able to be athletic. Well, not athletic, but he knew how to be one of the most marketable wrestlers in the business. You know, everybody knows Ric Flair. Just like everybody knows Hulk Hogan. Everybody knows Rock and Stone Cold now, because they're household names. They've been across the television sets for the last 30, 40, 50 years, especially guys like Hogan and Flair. So Charlotte Flair is absolutely what it is. And let's not forget that. But that's the next move Tiffany Stratton has to worry about. And you notice there was no other matches like that. You didn't see Gunther, you didn't see Jey Uso, you didn't see none of those guys. So now what happens? Well, let's talk about the other situation, which was the men's elimination chamber. Now, WWE did this smart because they waited until after the elimination chamber for The Rock to come out. If they would have did it before the elimination chamber, it wouldn't have sold the way it did. So you saw storylines in there as well. So Logan Paul gets eliminated. Drew McIntyre's the first one to get eliminated. I don't know where his WrestleMania story is. He could be going up against Priest. He could be going up against Logan. Nobody knows Drew McIntyre's path, but he does have a path to WrestleMania. Trust me when I tell you that. Logan Paul will probably end up going up against somebody like a Damian Priest or something like that at WrestleMania. That could possibly happen. So then you look at the other issue here. Seth Rollins and CM Punk. They're still going there. Seth Rollins is still salty about what happened at Raw Netflix, the first premiere, when he lost to CM Punk. He has told CM Punk over and over that your road to WrestleMania, you will not have it as long as I'm around. Again, Seth Rollins cost CM Punk the road to WrestleMania. So now it is clear, because they were teasing that Logan Paul was probably going to go up against CM Punk at WrestleMania. Now they have made it clear that it's going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns has not hit the scene yet, but I guarantee you, Roman Reigns could possibly and will probably be on SmackDown this coming Friday. Because you have got to make the match. What other match are you going to have Roman Reigns in besides that match? It's got to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. You cannot have a WrestleMania without the biggest guy that has main evented WrestleMania for the last 4 WrestleManias. And you tell me, we don't want you here. We don't need you this year. Roman Reigns is not injured. Roman Reigns is well. And Roman Reigns is going to be a part of WrestleMania. Believe me when I say that. So John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, which everybody thought that he was going to win. Then comes out The Rock. Cody is in the ring, talking to John about the road to WrestleMania and things like that. So, out comes Rock along with Travis Scott. Now, the question is, what is Travis Scott doing out there with The Rock? We thought he was just out there for the music, but no, he came out there to be a part of the storyline. So, Cody tells Rock, no. Here comes the trickery. John Cena comes and applauds him for making the move. Rock looks at John. John's eyes become evil. And The Rock does the symbol like that to the neck. And when he did that to the neck, John Cena turns on Cody Rhodes. Hit him in the face with the belt. Travis Scott also got involved with the action. Wow. So, as you can see, Rock and John Cena, along with Travis Scott, are a faction. This is crazy because in 2025, you have the biggest box office movie star, which is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, along with the second box office movie star, which is John Cena, and you have one of the, I think Travis Scott won a Grammy, but his music is out there, one of the multi-platinum artists, rap artists, in Travis Scott, who had one of the most finest Kardashians in the world. You put all three of them in a faction, and now you see what's happening. The part-timers are winning. And I know a lot of people in the back don't like that in the business. The part-timers are winning. So here's what's going to happen now. We know that Cody's going to fight John Cena at WrestleMania. John Cena has 10 months left in his career in wrestling. John Cena will be ending wrestling at the end of December. So guess what else happens, folks? Now they're going to play the storyline where he's going to be like, I sold out because I want this title. So you get the opportunity now to see, once again, the Doctor of Thugonomics, because I think that's what you're going to start seeing now from John Cena. I think the Doctor of Thugonomics is back. They wanted him to be a heel anyway. He never turned, but he decided to turn now. So let's talk about this for a minute. Me and D.E., shout out to my cousin, my big cousin D.E., had a conversation about this. He said, man, John's going to come back and John is going to become a heel. I said, you see it? He said, yeah, I see it, man. He said, I'm going to tell you why, man. Because they're going to try to modernize and try to exceed all the success that John has had within these next 10 months. So John Cena is on the retirement tour, but the retirement tour is him being a heel. So that's what's going to happen now. Great move by WWE. They shocked the world. They didn't shock me because I said it was either going to be him or Drew McIntyre, and it wasn't Drew McIntyre because he got eliminated. I thought Drew was going to come back out there, but he didn't. So you had to go with John Cena. Everybody knew that something was going to happen. And that's why you didn't see anybody else come to that ring but Rock and Travis Scott and John Cena. And you can tell by the way that John was looking that something was off. They made a great play on that. I will give them that. Great play by WWE, great play by Rock, Triple H, and all those boys that are part of the booking of this here. The road to WrestleMania is going to be phenomenal. You know, and I want to tell people this that watches wrestling. The road to WrestleMania is fabulous. But guess what? It's what you do after WrestleMania is what matters. Because you could go up, you could be up for WrestleMania, and then the next pay-per-view you can go back down to the ground. And you got to figure out how to keep that same intensity that you had at WrestleMania. Everybody knows Rock's going to be gone after WrestleMania. Everybody knows that John is going to be in and out after WrestleMania. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think Cody probably will lose the title to John, and I think Cody will end up winning the title back. It's going to happen that way, folks, because I just don't know what else to do. Or John gets this build up for WrestleMania and loses. That could possibly happen as well. But I just don't see it because I think they want him to become the 17-time world champion. And here's the other thing. During the press conference when John came in, John dropped the mic and walked away with the same blue shirt on and everything. and that goes to show you right there, he's playing his part to the fullness. He's playing it to the fullness. He wants everybody to know he's serious about his gimmick. And that's what it is. And, you know, we'll find out what happens to the road to WrestleMania tomorrow, as the WrestleMania starts off tomorrow. Netflix Raw starts tomorrow. We're going to see what happens now with Bianca, and Bianca's going to probably be there to watch Rhea and Io fight, things like that. The other roads to WrestleMania also is going to start. We're going to see who else be's involved with WrestleMania. Hopefully we will have some matches. I want to see if Finn Balor's going to go up against Braun Breaker. I want to see if AJ Styles is going to go up against Braun Breaker. It's going to be probably a triple threat between them for the Intercontinental title. I still want to see what's going to happen with Sheamus. I still want to see are they going to do what they're going to do with the SmackDown Tag Team titles, with the Raw Tag Team titles. It's going to be so much going on as the road to WrestleMania starts tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, again. And with that being said, I'm gonna yield. I'm out. God bless you. God keep you. Enjoy your Sunday.